Let me tell you about the day I forgot my wife's name. I was sitting in a room full of empty photo frames. Not empty because there were no pictures. Empty because I couldn't remember who used to be in them. Just white outlines on the wall. Ghosts of ghosts. In my hand, I was holding a glowing orb. Soft blue light. Warm to the touch. A memory orb, they call it. It held my last real memory of her. The sound of her laugh. Not the memory of her face. Not her favorite song. Just a laugh. 2 seconds of it, and I was about to trade it away. Because I needed to live one more week. You see, I'm 300 years old. That's not a brag, that's a confession. I've outlived everyone I ever loved. And the worst part? I can't remember most of them. Not because I'm old and senile. Because I chose to forget. That's the deal. Immortality isn't free. It costs memories, and I've been paying for centuries. Let me back up, because you need to understand how we got here. About 400 years ago, scientists discovered a way to stop aging. A little injection, a few genetic tweaks, and your body just stops. No wrinkles, no joint pain, no cancer. You stay physically 25 forever. But there's a catch. The treatment doesn't come from nowhere. It feeds on your neural pathways, specifically the ones that hold memories. Every time you take the renewal dose, the treatment scans your brain and deletes a chunk of your past. It's like paying rent with your own history. The system is cold, it's precise, and it has a menu. Here's how it works. 1 week of life costs the memory of what you had for lunch yesterday. That's the cheapest. Almost everyone pays that one without thinking. You wake up, you realize you can't remember if you ate a sandwich or soup, and you shrug. It's just lunch. 1 month of life costs the memory of a casual conversation. Maybe a chat with a coworker, a quick call with your mom. Nothing deep, but after a few months, you start noticing gaps. Did I promise to call someone back? You don't know. The memory is gone. 1 year of life costs your favorite childhood song. That's the one that hurts. Because music is wired straight to emotion. You hear a melody on the radio, and you feel something. Nostalgia, warmth, sadness. But you can't name the song. You can't hum it. It's just a hole where joy used to be. I sold that one when I was 50. I don't even remember what the song was. But I remember crying afterward. That's the irony. You forget the memory, but you don't forget the loss. 10 years of life costs the feeling of your first love. The butterflies. The way your heart raced when they walked into the room. That specific, electric, once-in-a-lifetime feeling. Gone. You still know you loved someone. You might even remember their name. But the feeling, the warmth in your chest, is just a blank space, like trying to remember a dream that slipped away the second you woke up. I sold that one when I was 100. I was lonely. I wanted more time. I thought I'd fall in love again. And I did. Several times. But the feeling was never the same. Because that first one? It was unique. And I traded it for a decade I barely even remember now. 50 years of life cost your mother's face. Her smile. The color of her eyes. The way she looked at you when you were scared, that's the big one. That's the memory that anchors you to who you are. Without it, you're unmoored. You know you had a mother. You know she loved you, but if someone asked you to describe her, you'd just freeze. I haven't sold that one yet, but I've thought about it every time my counter runs low, because here's the arithmetic nobody tells you. You don't get to choose which memories go. The system takes the most emotionally charged ones first. That's how it gets the most fuel. Your happiest moments, your deepest connections, the memories that made you cry. Those are the most valuable, and the system is always hungry. Now let me tell you what the world looks like now. We call it the era of beautiful strangers. I went to a party last month, a high-end one, the kind where everyone looks like they're 25. Perfect skin, perfect hair, perfect bodies. But if you listen to the conversation, it's empty. Nice weather we're having. Yes, very nice. Do you come here often? I don't remember. Nobody laughs. Nobody tells stories. Nobody says, remember that time when... Because there's no shared history. Everyone has forgotten their own past, so they have nothing to talk about except the present. And the present is boring. I watched 2 people dance together for an hour. They didn't speak. They just moved. Later, I found out they'd been married for 200 years. They didn't remember the wedding. They didn't remember why they fell in love. They just knew, logically, that they were supposed to be together. So, they stayed. That's not a marriage. That's a habit. And it's not just couples. Families have crumbled. Parents outlive their children, then forget they ever had them. Grandparents become strangers. There's a whole generation of orphaned immortals, people who can't remember their own parents' faces because they sold those memories for extra decades. I met a woman once. She was 400 years old, beautiful, witty, sharp as a knife, but she had no memories before the age of 50. She couldn't tell you where she grew up. She couldn't name a single childhood friend. She didn't know if she had siblings. She was a floating consciousness with no anchor. She told me, "I'm not a person. I'm just a collection of habits that used to be someone." I think about that line a lot. The memory black market. Of course, there's a dark side. There's always a dark side. The poor can't afford the renewal dose, so they sell their memories to the rich. Not their own memories. They sell the rights to harvest memories from their loved ones. There are memory farms now, places where people are kept alive, comfortable, but constantly having their happiest memories extracted and sold. The buyers are the ultra-wealthy immortals who want to feel something again. They plug into a machine and experience someone else's first kiss, someone else's child being born, someone else's joy. It's legal, it's regulated, and it's horrifying. I went to a memory farm once, just to see. It looked like a luxury resort. Green lawns, soft music, people sitting in rocking chairs, staring at nothing. Their eyes were open, but they weren't seeing anything, because they had no memories left to look at. One woman was humming a lullaby. Over and over, the same 4 notes. That was all she had left. A fragment of a song her mother used to sing, and she was humming it because she was afraid that if she stopped, she'd forget that too. I left after 10 minutes. I couldn't stay. Which brings me back to my wife. Her name was Lena, I think. I'm pretty sure. It might have been Elena or Lena. I've forgotten so much that I can't even trust my own spelling. But I remember the day we met. That's the last real memory I have. It was autumn. The kind of crisp, golden autumn that smells like wood smoke and wet leaves. I was sitting on a park bench, reading a book I no longer remember. She walked by. She had red hair. Not bright red, more like copper. And she was carrying a paper bag with a baguette sticking out of it. She tripped on a crack in the sidewalk. The baguette flew out. I caught it, one-handed, like some kind of idiot hero in a bad movie. She laughed, and that laugh, God, that laugh. It was like wind chimes made of honey. I know that sounds stupid, but it's true. We talked for 3 hours. About nothing. About everything. She told me she was studying marine biology, even though she'd never seen the ocean. I told her I was afraid of dying alone. She said, "So don't." That was the moment. Right there, the exact second I fell in love. I remember the light. Late afternoon. Golden. It cut through the trees and hit her face just right. She had a tiny scar on her left eyebrow from when she fell out of a tree as a kid. She told me that story too. I used to remember every word. Now, I just remember the feeling of wanting to remember. I've been paying for immortality for 3 centuries. I've outlived Lena by 200 years. She didn't take the treatment. She said she wanted to grow old, to die, to be remembered. I thought she was foolish. Now I know she was wise. Because here's where I am now. Last night, I got a notification from the system. It's built into my wrist. A little blue light that blinks when my life credit is low. It blinked. I have 1 day left. That's it. 24 hours. Then my heart stops. Because I'm out of memories to trade. I already sold lunch. I sold the song. I sold the feeling of first love. I sold dozens of casual conversations, hundreds of inside jokes, thousands of tiny moments that I'll never get back. The only thing I have left is the memory of Lena's laugh, that 2-second sound. Wind chimes and honey. The system says it's worth 1 week. 1 week for the last piece of her I still have. I'm sitting in this room, empty photo frames, blue orb in my hand, and I'm trying to decide. If I trade the laugh, I live another 7 days, then I'll have to trade something else. But there's nothing else. I've run out. So after that week, I die anyway. Or I don't trade it. I let the 24 hours run out. I die tomorrow. But I die with her laugh still inside me. I close my eyes. I try to picture her face. I can't. It's gone. I try to remember the color of her hair. Gone. The scar on her eyebrow. Gone. But the laugh is still here. I open my eyes. I look at the orb. And I make my choice. I don't trade it. I spend my last day walking through the city. I don't talk to anyone. I don't have anything to say. I just listen. A child laughing on a swing. A street musician playing out of tune. A couple arguing about groceries. All of it. Every sound. I try to memorize them. But I know I won't. Tomorrow, I'll be gone. And that's okay. Because here's what I've figured out, finally, at the very end. Immortality isn't about living forever. It's about having something worth living for. And if you trade away everything that mattered just to keep breathing, you're not really alive. You're just a body taking up space. I remember Lena's laugh. That's enough. That was always enough. The sun sets. The blue light on my wrist blinks one last time. Then it goes dark, and for the first time in 300 years, I'm not afraid, because I'm not dying alone. I'm dying with her.